Welcome back to my channel. Whitney here. Today I'm doing my 2017 Pan That Palette update number 2. What I'm doing is I'm updating you every 2 months. I am very excited for the progress that I have in this palette. It brings me so much joy. If you haven't watched my previous Pan That Palette videos, you can go ahead and do that and get caught up on how I'm feeling about this palette. I do love it, FYI. I do love this palette. Oh, I guess I should tell you the palette is the BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful palette. This is the original one that she came out with, not her deluxe edition that recently released. I'm just going to jump right in. This is going to be super quick. I'm going to show you my intro and my first update. Along with that, I'm also panning, this is the back of it because I don't want you to see it right now. But this is the NYX shadow in just a medium tone brown, just a matte brown, because I felt like this palette needed an additional brown. So I added that one in. Let's just go ahead and show you my progress. So this palette looks quite different now. There is so much pan. So let me just clarify right now. This bronzy shade is false pan. Oh, I know. So a while back, before I even decided to pan this palette, I tried to depot this palette so I could put it into a Z palette and just kind of condense it down a little bit. And this is the first shade that I started with. Well, that did not turn out very good. As I was doing it, it was kind of cracking and splitting in the pan, so I stopped. And I left it alone. I didn't try anything else. Well, doing this Pan That palette, I used the shade as an eyeshadow because this bronze is way too dark for me. And I was tapping the palette like this to get some of the fallout off. And when I did this whole piece just came right out. So that is false pan. But I am going to try and use up this edge right here this year. I don't know about this side because that shadow it's a highlighter bronzer, but for me it's an eyeshadow, and that's a huge pan of eyeshadow. So enough of that. As you can tell, I've hit pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades, and this is a highlight, guys. I have never hit pan in a highlight in my life. Do you see how big that pan is? Are you kidding me? I love this highlight. It's super bright. It's super light. It's super pink and beautiful. I love it. I use this mostly as a transition shade. This is a lid shade. This is my brow bone. And then these two as crease colors. So you can tell the tiny pan in that one. I'm trying to expand the pan in this deeper burgundy shade. And then I have just the slightest pan right here in that shimmery shade. I really thought that I was going to hit pan and a lot more of it in this shade this month because I use this all the time as a lid shade. And the lid is pretty large. I'm not wearing it today, but my lid is pretty large. So the fact that I've only hit that tiny little pan, but we'll get there. And then the pan in the brow bone shade. So I still have not hit pan in any of these. I'm working on them, but those shades I'm just not drawn to on a daily basis. It's this top row that I love using. And then these highlighters, I've completely worn away. The embossed symbol on this one, I think there's a little bit left on this side. And then the gold, I am working towards getting the symbol off of that as well. So that's it for my Carli Bybel palette. And for the additional brown shade, this is what it looks like. So in update number 1, I did have a little bit of pan showing, so I have just expanded that pan. And what I'm working on doing is getting to this side pan. So I'm going to get this side pan out and then we'll just work around. I felt like this brown shadow was going to be a lot easier to use up because the transition shade is something that I use every single day. But you really only need the tiniest amount. So this shadow is taking a lot longer to use up than I really expected. I thought I was going to be able to move this out in about 6 months, and I really feel now that I'll be lucky to have it done in the full year. So a shadow is a shadow either way. If I can move out an entire eyeshadow in 1 year, I will be happy. When I first started with this shadow, there wasn't much progress to it at all. I had used it a couple of times, but it really just got lost in my collection. So I'm very excited to still continue to work on this and hopefully move this out of my collection this year. So that's it, guys. That's it for my Pan That Palette 2017 update number 2. If you guys are panning anything, please let me know. I love watching these videos. If you have suggestions on how to use maybe any particular shade or to use it as some other function than what I'm currently using them as, please, tips and tricks are always welcome. So thanks so much for watching. I do hope that you subscribe to my channel to catch all of my future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.